Wow. Here we are, GrowNYC. Our last, yeah. Their Grow Your Snap campaign highlights how New Yorkers' SNAP benefits go further. And when they're spent at GrowNYC's Green Market Farmers Markets, they go even further. So welcome them up. Thank you.
Thank you. Hi, my name is Tutu and I work for GrowNYC. We are a 501c3 nonprofit that was established in 1970. And in 1976, when we started our green markets, we had a two-pronged mission. We wanted to support regional farm food businesses, but we also wanted to make sure every New Yorker, regardless of their socioeconomic status, could access the food that we were selling at our markets. And one of the ways we did this was by being early acceptors of various nutrition incentives, and in particular, SNAP EBT. So when SNAP used to be called food stamps and it was those paper coupons, we used to accept them at all our markets. And in the early 2000s, when it transitioned to the EBT card, we were one of the first markets to pilot its acceptance across all of our sites. The goal of our campaign is to make visiting farmers markets a habit among SNAP users across New York City. So who are our audience? 21% of New York City residents are on SNAP. That's 1.8 million people. Just to help you visualize that, 1.6 million people live in Manhattan. Some of those are one of our most vulnerable populations: children, elderly, and non-elderly disabled. This statistic is especially important with all the federal changes around the rules for able-bodied work requirements right now. In this current political climate that's very anti-poor, it's easy to think that SNAP users are other, but SNAP users are our neighbors. It's the grandmother who lives in the Bronx who travels all the way to Union Square to introduce her granddaughter to green markets and to farmers markets and the bounty that comes from New York State. It's the student who's finally living on her own, experimenting with recipes and cooking for herself and exploring all these new ingredients. It's an elderly couple who's now on a fixed income, but for years has been shopping at a Union Square farmers market and has forged really strong relationships with their farmers. And it's a child who's getting summer ABT and is excited to be able to participate and to use that money to be able to feed their families. 1.8 million New Yorkers could be maximizing their SNAP budgets at farmers markets, but less than half do. Some of the things that we've heard over the years that keep people away from farmers markets are that farmers markets are too expensive, they're far away, and people do not feel welcome there. The reality is that farmers market prices are on par and sometimes even lower than a grocery store or a bodega. Of course, if you're buying a tomato in the middle of winter, it's going to be expensive. It doesn't grow outside in the winter. But if you come in the summer when things are plentiful and bounty, those prices are very affordable. Farmers markets are close to very many transit hubs. You can get there by bus, you can get there by subway. And for most of our markets, we ensure that the farmers who are working there speak the language that is commonly spoken there. People will see food that they're familiar with, food that they grew up with. We recruit volunteers from the neighborhoods who look just like the people who are shopping there. And all our resources are translated into languages that people are familiar with. It's very clear that there's a value of shopping at a farmer's market with your SNAP. If you go to a bodega, if you go to a grocery store, one SNAP dollar redeemed there is just one SNAP dollar. But if you go to a farmer's market, two SNAP dollars redeemed there doubles to two additional dollars you can use for fruits and vegetables. Now, with all of this in mind, we put together a really great PSA campaign that we are calling Grow Your SNAP PSA. And without further ado, I'd love to unveil our PSA campaign. I'd love to invite our incredible artist Sam to talk about our whimsical art and her inspiration behind this artwork.
Thank you. So for this image, it was really important to focus on the full journey, how our produce moves from upstate New York to a market here in New York City, and eventually into someone's home to feed their family. To show that, I was inspired by board games and Where's Waldo style illustrations. That allowed me to fit a lot of moments and information into one image, so people can follow the story while also picking up on smaller details along the way. I also wanted to make sure that the health bucks were very visible throughout the piece. Those are the bonus dollars you get when purchasing produce. So people immediately understand that this is about affordability and access. Okay, now I'm going to hand it back to Tutu, and she's going to explain how we're going to amplify this message.
Thank you, Sam. So we're going to take this incredible artwork and put it where people are. At transit hubs, while people are waiting for the bus, we want people to engage with them, to engage with the whimsy, to follow their journey, to see themselves in this artwork. In the bodegas, when people are swiping their EBT cards, we have really great relationships with bodega owners across the city, and people can see that they can actually double their SNAP if they went to a farmer's market. And because we're talking about a population that is unfamiliar with our farmers markets, we want to make sure that people know what to expect before they get there. We've built a landing page that if you see the QR code at the bottom, that's where it leads you to, where we talk about the campaign, people connect again with the artwork. We talk about where their nearest farmer's market is, but we also walk them through the 1, 2, 3 steps of how to use your EBT card so that when people go to the markets, they feel comfortable. They feel like they're not, new here and that no one can see that they don't obviously go here. We want people to be as comfortable getting to our markets as possible to reduce any barriers. Then we'll put the swag on March, as everyone is doing. But the incredible thing about this is that we're going to give it to first-time SNAP users, but we also want our community to purchase these tote bags and these shirts and this various merch because we know what the power is about, taking the stigma away from something that is normally hidden and something that's normally, othered, and having people participate and making it very cool and making it just a part of our natural environment. We want to partner with the Mayor's Office of Mass Engagement and put beautiful murals in neighborhoods where we know SNAP eligibility is high, but market usage is low. So we want to be very targeted in where we're placing this. We want people to take pictures of this, put it in social media, to just stand there and, enjoy the art. And our goal is really to get them to the markets. So we hope that people can make these connections. And as I shared before, 30% of SNAP users are children. So we wanted to make sure we weren't forgetting them. So we're going to take certain aspects of our artwork and turn those into stickers. So when parents bring their kids to swipe their swap cards at our information tent, they'll get stickers as well. They'll take that message back home and it'll carry through even once they've left the market. And it'll also be an incredible experience, not just for their parents, but for them too. We're going to start this rollout over the next 4 months. We'll start with digital spaces, and then we'll roll out to more in the city on the ground advertising. And this is a good question. How can you help? So our city partners who are sitting over there, we're looking right at you. We want to partner with you because we know you have access to free use of transit hub media. We want to collaborate. We want to get your branding on our campaign as well. It's important to the Department of Health to elevate the use of SNAP so people can get their health bucks. So we want to collaborate and use that shared media so we can get the message out in places where we know people could see it on routes to farmers markets that are nearby. For private supporters, in places where we're not getting free media, we need your help to amplify our message, to get billboards, to get link pages up so people, again, in very targeted spaces can see this message and know, I'm 10 feet away from a farmer's market. I'll go check it out. I have SNAP. This is amazing. And then for all of you, everybody else here in the audience, you're our community partners. We want you to spread this campaign with with your neighbors, folks who you know are on SNAP, even just anybody. The more people who know about this message and the more natural it is, the more of a habit this will become. So thank you. If you have any questions, reach out to me. My name is Tutu.
Thank you, Tutu. Don't forget, reach out to Tutu.